So this is going to be a great flow for flexibility, for sore muscles. If you're on your cycle, it's going to be great for you as well. It's going to help loosen up your hips. We're going to do all of this seated, so it's also a good one if you're just really tired and just need to stretch out. So find a comfortable seat. You can come to a cross-legged position. If you want to use a block, you can. I'm going to show you guys a couple options with blocks if you have some, if you want to bring them into your practice or just for the future reference. So we'll come to a comfortable seat, roll your shoulders back, close your eyes, relax your shoulders down your back. Long, tall spine here. And then we're gonna find a comfortable breath. So as we inhale, you're gonna feel your belly expand. And hold. Exhale through your mouth. Feel everything come out of your belly here. We're gonna do that 3 or 4 times, so at your own pace. So very slow, full inhales. Holding. And release. Take another inhale. Hold. And release. Let's take one more like that. Open your eyes. We're gonna extend our left arm out, get long and tall through the spine, and then drop the ear down to the right. Relax both shoulders here. You're gonna feel a nice stretch along the left side of your neck. If you want a little more, you can pull that left arm behind your back and grab your fingers with your right hand. Otherwise, just stay where you are, long and tall through the spine, relaxing the shoulders down the back here. Take a couple breaths. I apologize for any outside noise. I am recording this outside today. One more breath here. Come back up and then walk those right fingertips out. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, dropping that left ear down to the left shoulder, breathing into the right side of the neck here. Again, if you want to bring that right hand behind your back, grab the fingers. That'll give you a little bit deeper stretch in your neck right here. Just relaxing the shoulders here, breathing into it. One more breath here. And release. We'll do some seated side bends here. So take your left hand next to the left hip. Inhale the right arm up. On the exhale, reach over. Maybe you can get that left forearm down, maybe not. You also have the option to place a block under that left arm if that helps. Just make sure your right sitting bone is grounded here. Breathing along the right side body here. Getting long on the inhales. Maybe you can reach out a little bit farther on those exhales. Just take a couple breaths here. Inhale it back up. Take the right hand to the ground, left arm up. On your exhale, reach over. Keeping the left sitting bones down here, breathing through that entire left side body. We'll take a couple breaths. One more full breath here. Inhale back to center. Take an exhale. And inhale both arms overhead. Exhale, twist left, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Look over that left shoulder. So very long spine here, twisting at the navel as you breathe. This is really good for your digestion. It's good to get out any toxins. So just focus on your breath. Focus on your belly filling on the inhales, and on your exhales, you're pushing everything out. Maybe you can twist a little bit more as you make room in your diaphragm. One more breath here. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the right, left hand to right knee. Same thing here, just focusing on the breath, lengthening on those inhales. Maybe you can twist a little bit further on your exhales. One more breath here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then we're gonna come into a seat, or let's do our seated cat-cow first. And this is my favorite variation. I like to take the arms out in front. And then as you inhale, open the arms, open the chest, look up. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, close it in. Let's take a couple of those at your own pace. Inhaling to arch and look up. Exhaling to round and tuck. Take one more of each wherever you are. And then release, and we will come into that seated pigeon here. I'm going to give you a couple options. So you can keep your right leg straight on the ground and take your left ankle to right knee, flexing into that left foot. You can stay right here if that's good for you. You can bring the foot up and scoot in closer to that heel to get a deeper stretch in the hip. Wherever you are, just breathe into it. Make sure you don't have any tension in the knee here. I like to rock that right leg back and forth to help me get deeper into the left hip. We'll just take a couple breaths here. You can stay here for a couple more breaths, or if you want to hug that left leg in, you can do so. So taking the left foot into the right elbow crease, the left knee into the left elbow crease, hugging it in, taking some breaths here. If you have a knee injury, I recommend just staying in the first variation with that straight leg. Go ahead and release. We'll take it to the other side. So coming right here, if that feels okay for you, flexing into that right foot, you can stay here. Take the left foot to the ground here, rock it back and forth. And then again, you have the option of staying right here if that works for you, or if you want to hug that right leg in to get a little bit of a deeper stretch in the outside hip. This is great. Any kind of hip stretches are great if you're on your menstrual cycle. It's just going to help release any tension you're holding in that area. One more breath here. Release. And then we're going to do some Kundalini circles. So I'm going to give you a couple options. You can just sit in a cross-legged position, or you have the option to come into fire log pose, which is left ankle on top of left knee. And the goal is to stack the knee on top of the ankle. I have tight hips, so that is not accessible to me. You can also utilize a block under your left ankle and left knee if that helps you. I don't like to do it under the left knee. I like just the ankle. It helps lift the hips up a little bit, and it's going to get tighter or deeper into that right hip. Okay, and then take your hands next to your hips, whether you're in the cross-legged or fire log. Take an inhale for your long spine. Exhale, you're going to rock it forward. Inhaling back up. Exhaling to come down and around. Inhaling to come up. Do that a couple more times at the pace of your own breath, breathing into the outside of that right hip. One more. And then we're gonna switch sides. So if you had your legs crossed, go ahead and cross them the other way. If you're in fire log, stack the other way. You can utilize a block here or not. That's really just depends on your preference. And then we'll go the other way. So inhaling for our long, tall spine. Exhaling, drop it down left. Inhale it back up. One more. Exhaling down. Inhaling back up. And release. And that might look a lot different for you. Again, my hips are really tight. So if yours are not, your legs are probably stacked and you're able to come down a lot further. Okay, and then we're gonna come into seated butterfly pose. So take the soles of your feet together. And then I like to just flap it out like they're wings. Long spine here. Take a couple breaths, relaxing the hips, getting long into your spine here. We're gonna come into cobbler's pose. So you're gonna take your hands to the inside soles of your feet, take your elbows to the knees, long spine here. Inhaling for your long spine, maybe you stay here. If you're able to, just begin to hinge at your hips. You're not rounding in the low back here. And push the knees open as you try to open the feet like a little book. Take a couple breaths here. If you want to bring a block in front of your face to rest your forehead, you're more than welcome to do so. Wherever you are, just focus on relaxing into those inner hips here, your groin, releasing tension, relaxing your face as you breathe. And you can always bring your feet as far away from you as you need to, depending on your hips and knees, what feels best for you. We'll take one more breath here. Go ahead and release. And then we're gonna come into a reclined, supported fish pose. So take a block long ways. And again, if you do not have any blocks, you can just do this on your forearms. And you're gonna take it behind your spine, in between the shoulder blades. And then relaxing your head back, or taking another block under the head if you would like to. If you do not have blocks, just come up on your forearms and place your head on the ground. If you have your block, relax the arms, let your head fall. You're gonna feel your chest opening here. You can bring your legs into a cross-legged position. You can leave them long. You can bend at the knees. You can come into a butterfly legs, whatever feels best for you. Just take a couple breaths here, really allowing the chest to open up here, releasing tension in the upper back. One more full breath here. Come back up onto the forearms, lift up, remove your block. We're gonna come onto all fours. We're gonna take an extended puppy dog pose here. You also have the option to go into child's or use your block. So sliding the arms out, keeping the hips over the knees, come to rest on your chest, or you can place a block under your chest. Keep your arms long, or place your forehead on the ground like so. If you want to come into prayer hands, you can bend the arms back towards you. This is going to give you a deeper stretch in your arms. We'll take about 5 breaths here. One more full breath here. Take your hands to your mat. Take your knees wide. Sink the hips back for wide-legged child's pose. Taking your head to the mat here. Take your arms out long. And stay here for about 5 full breaths. So just feeling your belly rising on the inhales. Releasing, emptying out on those exhales. Feel your upper back relax, your shoulders relax. Take one more full breath here. And we're gonna come up very slowly onto all fours. We'll take a couple cat-cows here. So exhaling to round the spine, tuck the tailbone. Maybe you wanna come up on your fingertips here. Inhaling to arch the back and look up. Exhaling to round and tuck. And then just take a couple of those at the pace of your own breath. I kind of like to rock back and forth here. Maybe you want to stay in one variation longer than the other. One more of each, wherever you are. And then we're gonna come back to a seated position. Legs wide. Take your left hand to your left leg. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale to reach for those left toes. You also have the option to take these in butterfly legs if this doesn't feel good for you. Again, you want to stay open here rather than caving in. So if you need to come up some, that's going to be better for you. It's not about how far you're able to reach down the leg, as much as just opening the chest here. One more breath here. Inhale up, right hand to right leg. Reach the left arm up and over on the exhale. If you want to look up under that left arm, if you prefer to just look down to the ground, you can do that as well. One more breath here. Inhale it back up. And then take your hands in front of you, interlace your fingers, and we're gonna do another variation of those Kundalini circles. They like to call this one stirring the pot because it's like you're stirring a big pot. This is great for your hips and inner thighs. So inhaling for that long, tall spine, exhaling, come down and around, back up on the inhale. Two more in this direction. And then when you get to the top on that inhale, begin to exhale back down to the left this time and inhaling up to the right. One more full circle in this way. So exhaling down, inhaling it back up, and then we're gonna walk it out in the middle. So inhale for your long spine, exhale, begin to walk. Grab a block here if you want to. So maybe you're right here and you just wanna rest your chin on the block. Maybe you're able to come down a little further and you'd like to rest your chest on it. Maybe you wanna bring it under your forehead. Wherever you are, you can utilize that to help you relax into your fold, keeping your toes pointed towards the sky, rotating up. You don't want them caving down towards the ground here. Breathing into the inner groin here. Two more breaths here. And then we will begin to walk it back up. We're gonna come to lay on our backs. If you have a block, go ahead and grab it here. If not, you don't have to have one. We're gonna come into legs up the wall. So just taking your legs like they're up a wall and flexing your toes towards your face. If you do not have a block, just stay here. You can hold the backs of your legs. You can use a strap. If you do have a block, lift your hips and place it under your sacrum. You can place it on the lowest level or the highest level, depending on where you are. This is just going to give you a little bit more of a lift on this inversion. This is really good for your lymph nodes. It's really good to do if you have a cold. It helps them to drain because you have lymph nodes right here in your pelvis. So just getting those lifted up a little, focusing on your breath here. Just feeling the blood flow from your legs. This is also a great practice to do at night. Take a couple more breaths here. Release the legs down. If you have that block under your hips, you can go ahead and either leave it there or you can release it. We're going to come into butterfly pose. So you have the option again to leave the block or remove it or not use it at all. Come into reclined butterfly legs. If you need to adjust it there, you can. Taking your hands next to your sides, just allowing the knees to fall open here. Take about 5 breaths in this one as well. One more breath here. Lift the knees, lift the hips, remove the block if you have it there. If not, you can just relax back down. Go ahead and lengthen the right leg, extend the left arm, pull that left knee in with the right hand. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring the left knee over, keeping the left shoulder grounded. Twisting at the navel here, focusing on your breath. Inhale it back up to center. Release the left leg long, hug the right knee in, right arm out. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull it over to the left. Keeping the right shoulder grounded here. One more breath. Inhale back to center, and we'll come into one last pose before Shavasana. So we're going to come into Happy Baby. You have the option of just grabbing the backs of the thighs and pulling the knees towards your armpits. You can come for the outside edges of the feet, pulling the knees down here. You can sit in stillness. If you like to rock side to side a little bit, you can. One more breath here. And then release the legs long. Release the legs long. Close the eyes. And relax into Shavasana.